Group by and summarize functions in R statistics to group the data and generate a summary including the mean, the standard deviation, the number of cases, and the standard error for each categories within the data. Launch the RStudio and let us load the tidy package by typing library, open a bracket and then type tidy and select tidyverse and hit enter, and this will loads all the packages for data analysis and certain commands and functions in R. And the next step is to load the file that have the data into RStudio. But first, set the working directory by clicking on this one here and then select choose directory. Click on open and the directory is now the working directory where the file is stored. To load the file into R, we're going to use the command read underscore table as the data here in the text format, and I'm going to name an object for this data by typing wage, then use the assignment operator, then use the read function or command table, and then in between the two bracket insert quotation and type the name of the file, which is a text file, to and then underscore way underscore ANOVA. The name of the data is called two-way ANOVA, so this data used for showing two-way ANOVA analysis in R. Then .txt and hit enter. To look at the structure of the data, type str, open a bracket and then type wage and hit enter. The data have three variables: jobs, gender, and salary. Two categorical variables, the jobs and the gender, and the continuous variable, which is the salary. To look at the number of cases, type dim, open a bracket and then wage and then the name of the object and then hit enter. There are 96 participants and 3 variables. To view the data in a table format, use the command view bracket wage, and as shown in the top section here, the data is in a table format. There are 96 cases or 96 participants. There are 3 variables: the jobs, the gender, and the salary. 2 variables, the jobs and the gender, are categorical variable. The salary is continuous or a scale. So jobs have 4 levels in it: doctor, dentist, pharmacist, and nurses. And the gender have 2 levels in it: male and females. And the salary is measured in pounds earned by each individual annually. So here we have 3 variables, 2 categorical and 1 continuous. To find out the mean, the standard deviation, the standard error for each group and subgroup, then we'll use the command group by and followed by summarize. And to do that in R, let's push this up and then clear this area here. Going to generate a new object, call it wage summary, and then use the assignment operator and use the data from the wage, and then pipe that, click enter here, use the pipe symbol to pipe it to group by, and in between the brackets we're going to group the data by the object or the variable jobs, and also the second variable, which is gender. So this function or command will group the data by jobs and then by gender, and then pipe that into the summarize function. Select the first one, and in between the two brackets type mean equal mean again, open the brackets, and insert the continuous variable, which is the salary. We're going to find out the mean for the salary earned by each individuals in the group categories for jobs and gender. Then insert a comma here, and then type standard SD equal SD, open a bracket, and again salary capital letter, as the R is case sensitive, and then also determine the number of participants by n equal to length, open a bracket, and then type salary again, and then comma, and then to find out the standard error, which is equal to the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. To double check the command carefully, so an object is assigned and given a name, which is wage summary, and that is from data, which is the wage, and then that's piped into the function or command group by jobs and gender. Then once this is grouped, then these data grouped, then piped into summarize. When the summarize, we will look for the mean for the salary, the standard deviation for the salary, the length of the data, which means the number of cases or sample size, and the standard error, which equals to standard deviation divided by the square root of n. If we hit enter and then type wage to view the output, wage summary, and hit enter, table is generated 8 by 6 as shown here, with groups with the data arranged or grouped by jobs and then gender, as shown here in the first column: dentist, and then doctor, nurses, and pharmacists, then grouped jointly through the second variable, which is gender, female and male, and the mean for each category or subcategory is given here with the standard deviation, number of participant or sample size, and standard error for each group. So this is the way to use the command or the function group by, then piped into summarize function in R statistics.